Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the end of physical media in games and the end of real game ownership. On June 24th, Rockstar Games dropped the news that Grand Theft Auto 6 will have no physical disc. Then only a week later, on July 1st, Sony went full nuclear and announced they're ending all physical disc production for new PlayStation games starting January of 2028. These back-to-back moves have lit the internet on fire, and for good reason. Gamers are sick and tired of being told to pay full price for things we'll never truly own. So first, with Grand Theft Auto 6, Rockstar confirmed the physical edition is just a box with a download code inside, no disc. When fans asked about a real disc version, Rockstar support replied that you'd be able to get a physical copy in the following months. Later, they walked it back, saying they just meant the code in a box version. To me, that sounds like they dangled the idea of a disc to calm people down, then quietly admitted there never was one to begin with. And here's the stupid part. Why even make a box if there's no disc? The whole point of the box was to hold the disc. Maybe some people will buy the box for nostalgia reasons, but to me, it feels like a participation trophy. A participation trophy for the death of ownership. It's like a slap in the face reminding you that you don't own the game, you're just renting it. Then Sony piled on just days later. They announced that starting January of 2028, no new games at all on PlayStation will get physical discs. Not from Sony, not from third parties. Everything new will be digital only. And this wouldn't feel so sinister if Sony hadn't already shown how fragile digital ownership really is. Remember when they deleted hundreds of movies people had bought, including classics like Terminator 2, because they lost the licensing rights? You paid for it, but suddenly you don't own it anymore. That's exactly what can and does happen with digital games. They're not yours, they're licenses that can be taken away. This is the games as a service mindset in full force. Everything becomes a subscription, a live service, or a reoccurring revenue stream. You don't buy games anymore, you buy access to something that the company can change, restrict, or shut down whenever they want. To make it worse, right after Sony's announcement, President and CEO Hiroki Totoki sold over 225,000 shares of Sony stock, more than half his holdings. And there were several other board members who cashed out in the same way too. I know it wasn't technically insider trading, but it still looks pretty shady to me. But it's not all doom and gloom. There is some good news. The community is fighting back, and there are still real ways to own your games. First, GOG, Good Old Games, has always been one of the good guys. Every game you buy on Good Old Games is DRM free. You can download the installer and back them up anywhere. Even burn them to physical discs if you want. They're proof that digital does not have to mean you don't own it. Then there's the retro and physical revival scene that's exploding right now. And honestly, it's one of the most exciting parts of gaming today. Like this one company, Blaze Entertainment, who makes the evercade, a modern console that uses real flash cartridges packed with officially licensed games. You get actual physical media again, including releases from Atari, Bandai Namco, Arc System Works, and many others. So we can own games again instead of just renting them. If you want even more options, the community is going wild with custom solutions. There was this one post on X about people turning old 128 gigabyte solid state drives into custom game cartridges of their Steam library. And finally, last but definitely not least, there are retro companies like Hyperkin who keep the dream alive with consoles like the Retro N5, which can play original cartridges from the NES, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Sega Genesis, and several others. And then you've got the Analog 3D, which lets you play real Nintendo 64 cartridges in beautiful HD on modern TVs. These aren't just nostalgia toys. They're a direct rebellion against the you will own nothing future that the big companies are pushing. So even though the tech giants want to turn every game into another revenue stream and reduce us to digital tenants on their platforms, the fight isn't over. There are still people and companies standing up for real ownership. So what do you guys think? Do you still plan to buy PlayStation games after they discontinue discs? Is the convenience of digital media worth the loss of ownership? If not, which one of the retro solutions do you plan on looking into? Let me know in the comments down below. I read all of them and I try to respond to as many as I can. And I'm going to look into how I can release physical versions of Retro Life just to dunk on Sony and Rockstar games. Anyway, that's all I've got for now. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss future ones. And if you want to support the channel directly, go wishlist my upcoming pixel art game Retro Life on Steam. I'll leave a link in the description. If you watched this video all the way to the end, then thank you. You are awesome.